It can also sometimes cause issues or inconsistencies when you're exporting the folio as well. So when you clear formatting, that will remove any of those pesky HTML codes. So we'll move this over into the section. We'll make this one 2. Divide this. We'll go ahead and add an image of our product. We'll move that below here. And then to add a little more visual appeal to this, this canvas, we'll add a pie chart and a bar graph. Again, you'll see these are in that default, they're going to be set in that default color. So if I wanted to update this color, I can do the color scheme on the canvas here, and that's going to update all of these, the bar and chart graphs in here. So I'll make this our, set this in the same color. Oops, that's not the same color. And we'll go ahead and make these headers pop as well. So then I can replace these and show how our company has been doing. Add another segment for this year. Then you can change these bars here. And for the different user base, we'll just go persona. We can remove these and then reset these numbers as well. And so for this one, I'll go ahead and save this as a template too. Again, this will live under my templates tab. And so then anytime I need to use that company info or that company header, I can just start with one of these templates. I'm going to use this one to make a variation of this. I guess this is only a header. We didn't create the footer. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just change the color scheme for this one. We'll make it different background color. And then we'll have this on our dashboard as well. So when we go back to our dashboard, what we're going to do now is create a channel. And so like I said, this was just kind of preliminary to set up the workspace, the team workspace. So now I have these folios here. What I'm going to do is create a new channel called Team Assets. And so this way, I'm going to move all those new folios that are created in there so my team members can use them as well. So if I make this channel team visible, any team members or team admins I have, they're going to automatically see this channel on their dashboard, and they're going to have access to any folios I add to this, collaboration access. It's also going to allow them, the team visible channels are going to allow your team members to add their own folios to these channels. So you can work together on, kind of start on your own projects, create these team visible channels, and move folios into the channel as you're working together on them, so you can all maintain visibility into that the entire project. So we'll create this channel. And then we'll move these 3 that we made in here, we just made into that channel. Team Assets, we'll move it out of this main one too. All right, so now under my team assets, I have all 3 of those folios. So my team members that are already on the team have access to these now. They've been added as collaborators. And when they move any of their folios into this team assets channel, I'm going to get collaboration access as well. And you'll see on your notifications here, you'll get notified whenever you create channels, whenever your team members create team visible channels, and whenever you move, whenever you guys move folios into those different channels. So if we, to just give you an overview about the different team users, so there are different team roles under our premium plans. The team owner, which would be you if you've upgraded your account and created this, this workspace, this custom workspace. The team owner is going to have access to all premium features. They're going to be the only user that can access billing, and they'll be able to access the style guide and add and remove team members. And guests. Team members are users that will have, they'll have their own workspace. So they'll be able they'll have the freedom to create their own folios, their own templates, and their own channels to kind of create these different deliverables and documents and presentations for your company. You can make team members admins if you want to give them more access so that they can manage that style guide and add new paid users. And then the last user role is the team guest, and there are both free and paid guests. Essentially, guest access will allow users to collaborate on projects you've created, on folios you've created, but it won't allow them to create new folios under your team workspace. To reiterate this again, your dashboard, this is super private and secure. So if you remove any team members and they had any folios they owned, whenever you remove them, any folios they own are going to be transferred to the team owner. So anything created under this workspace is going to stay under the team dashboard. It won't be removed unless the team owner transfers it outside of the team. So if we we'll go ahead and use this. Actually, so I'll show you why we created these why we created this second variation and kept these as not only templates but folios. So if we start on a new project, maybe we're creating a proposal for a client and we want to use the proposal template. So what I can do, it's not possible to merge templates. So you won't be able to use the template you created and one of our templates. But if you do decide to use one of Xtensio's templates to start off a project, what you can do if you have those assets that you've already saved as folios is go ahead and go back to, if we open this dashboard again, we'll go to one of those headers and we can actually copy and move that section into the proposal we just created. If I go team assets again, I'll do the variation 2. And so I can copy this to a different folio. And I can add that to my client proposal, copy the section, and then we'll go to that folio. So whenever you merge sections together, whenever you add the section you've added was going to go to the bottom of the folio. So you'll see that down here. What we're going to do is just move that to the top. So change order and move to the top. And then we'll delete this one. And then that just easily makes this the proposal branded without having to do a lot of work. And then we can fill it out. So I'm going to actually add a collaborator to do this. So I have team members on here already. So I'll add Alper as a team member, or as a collaborator to this folio. So this folio is in a team visible channel. So no, I don't have any collaborators on it right now. So when I've added Alper, he's going to get an invitation and he can accept that. I'll get a notification and then I'll see his avatar here at the top. Whenever you're working together in these, you'll be able to see where people are working. So there will be a green pencil icon. You can click on that and it will take you to the module that they're actively editing. One thing that is really useful to use in here, if you want to add a new section, if you are collaborating, a good thing to do is add the notes section. So you can make this, we generally make this a bright color to make it stand out. And then we'll just add a text section. Oops. Then I'll add my notes there. If you move this to the top, then your collaborators, when they're added to it, they'll be able to see the notes right away. Oops, just move that up. And then when I'm ready to publish this, I can just remove this section. Another way to take notes in here, so this is going to be a kind of like comments that you can use. If you wanted to make notes on different versions of your folios, you can also open the timestamp here. So it's important to note that that the app is cloud-based, so the collaboration is going to be real-time. All of your edits and your collaborators' edits are going to instantly save and sync across devices. And there's going to be a full list of revision history here, so you won't have to worry about losing a version. And you can actually make notes in here, so if you get done, you finalize the copy, you can make a note here to say that, or if your edits are done, you can write a note, and then you'll always know that you can go back to this version and revert to it if needed, if something gets deleted or someone makes a mistake. When we're ready to share this folio, the great thing about your premium, the premium plan is that you're going to have your URL that you created connected to all of the shared links that you share. So again, this is going to be private. When you turn this link sharing on, you'll be able to share this with anyone. So this is external sharing. The sharing this link does not give anyone collaboration access. So if you're just sharing this with a client and want to get their before you start working with them to get their approval, you can just share this link. You can actually customize the end of this. So you can say client proposal or the name of the client to give it a little more relevance. And when you share it with them, they'll know what that is. You can also add password protection so that only certain people you want to see it will be able to. And then when you open this, you can share this with your client. They'll be able to enter the password, and they can view your proposal. But if we forgot, like I did, to remove that section, the great thing about this is that I can remove this, and then whenever the client sees it, they're always going to see the most up-to-date version. So they'll instantly see whenever I remove that. So they don't see that anymore. So it's really convenient if you make a mistake like I just did. And then one other thing you can do with our premium plans is you view these folio stats. So when the link does start to get shared, you can see stats to kind of see how many times it's been viewed. Internally, you can see editing engagements, how much your team has been actively working on the folio. Right, so if we go back to the dashboard, I'll show you one more thing with channels that you can do for external sharing and external collaboration. So we talked about team visible channels and how those help you collaborate on multiple folios on projects with your team. But what you can also do with these channels, so we'll create a client channel. We'll make this team visible so that all of our team members can add their own work to this folio, or to this channel, sorry. But then what we'll do is we'll actually we'll add these channels these folios that we're working on. So we'll add this one and maybe one other one just so we can see. So then when I go into client A here, my team members, again, will have access to it. But what I can actually do is I can add a premium guest to this. So if I wanted to, I can add this user. They're not part of my team. So when you add someone, when you try to add a collaborator, whether it's on a folio or a channel, and they're not part of your team, you'll be asked to invite them first. So I want this person to be a premium guest. So that means they're going to be able to collaborate. This is a client, so I want them to collaborate on folios that I'm working on for their project, but I don't necessarily want them to have the access to create their own folios under here. So if I choose premium guest, I can enter their email address. I'm inviting myself, but that's okay. All right, so then they were added to the team. So now we can add them as a guest to this channel. Well, you should be able to add them as a guest to this channel. Essentially what should work with this is you'll be able to add the premium guest as a channel collaborator, so they can access all of these folios that you're working on in here and collaborate on them. So if you create a persona or a marketing plan that you kind of want to get their editing feedback on, you can add them as a collaborator and they'll have access to this as well. You can also just add guests to individual folios here as well. Well, if I enter the right email. So then they found it, and you can choose between edit or view only access. And so I won't see that guest on this folio card until they accept that collaboration invitation. And the other thing, so for that's external collaboration. So if you want to collaborate with guests on groups of folios, but what these channels also will allow you to do is turn this creative and revisioning process into the external sharing process. So you can actually take this link to the channel. You can turn this link sharing on, add a page title. So you can make this client A. And then if we share this, again, you can add a password, but when we share this with our client, then we can showcase, maybe this one page of the proposal, a persona, a few other folios that we've been working on for this particular project. So they'll have links all on one page rather than the individual links for the folios themselves. Great, so that is about it for me. I spent a little longer than I intended, but we will definitely still take questions if you have any. So if anyone has any questions, you can reach out. There's a question and a Q&A button at the bottom, or you can reach out via chat. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Does anyone have any questions? No? Good? All right. Well, I will follow up with you guys probably tomorrow, a little later today or tomorrow, with the video to this demo or to this webinar. I started it a little late, so it will not be the whole thing, but you'll get most of it. And then I'll also share a survey. This is our first advanced Xtensio webinar, so I'll share a survey with you guys to get kind of your feedback, see what you learned, see what was helpful and what wasn't. And if you guys have any questions as you're working in the app and kind of getting settled into your team space, you can always reach out from the chat bubble here. We're happy to help. All right. Great, guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.